Hello, and welcome back to Bill English Podcast, where we learn English with stories. I am so happy you are here today. This channel is a special place. We listen to real stories. We learn real English. Today, we have a very emotional story. It is the story of a mother. Her name is Margaret. She is 72 years old. Margaret lived alone for many years. Her only son moved to another country, and she had to learn how to live again. This story is about loneliness. It is about love, and it is about finding strength inside yourself. Listen carefully. Try to understand every sentence and let Margaret's story touch your heart.
My name is Margaret. I am 72 years old. I live in a small town in England. My town is very quiet. There are old trees on every street. The houses are small and close together. I have lived here my whole life. I was a teacher for 35 years. I taught young children how to read. That was my greatest joy. My husband Robert was a kind man. We were married for 40 years. He died 6 years ago. After Robert died, my world became very small, but I still had my son Daniel. Daniel was everything to me. He was a good boy. He was always curious and hard-working. He loved to study. He loved to ask questions. I was proud of him every single day. Daniel grew up. He finished university. He found a good job. Life was moving forward. I thought we would always be close. I thought he would always be near me. I was wrong.
One evening, Daniel came to my house. He sat at the kitchen table. He did not speak for a long time. I made tea. I sat across from him. I waited. Then he said, "Mum, I have some news." I looked at his face. I already felt something heavy in my heart. He said, "I got a job offer in Canada. It is a very good opportunity." I did not speak. I held my cup of tea very tightly. He said, "I want to go, Mum. I really want to go." I looked at my son. He was 34 years old. He was a grown man. I knew I could not say no. I knew this was his life, but my heart was breaking. I smiled at him. I said, "That is wonderful, Daniel. I'm so proud of you." But when he left that night, I sat alone at my kitchen table, and I cried for a very long time. Daniel left in September. I remember that day so clearly. The sky was grey. The air was cold. We hugged at the airport. I held him for a long time. I did not want to let go. He said, "I'll call you every week, Mum. I promise." And then he was gone. I walked back to my car alone, and the silence was very loud. I drove home. I walked into my house. Everything was the same, but everything felt different. The house was too quiet. The rooms felt too big. The evenings felt too long. I would cook dinner for 2 people, then remember there was only me. I would hear something funny on the television. I would turn to tell Robert, then remember Robert was gone. I felt invisible, like nobody needed me anymore. Daniel called every Sunday. I was always happy to hear his voice, but when the call ended, the silence came back. Weeks became months. I struggled to find a reason to get up each morning. I struggled to feel useful. My friends tried to help. They invited me to dinners. They called me on my birthday. I was grateful, but inside I still felt alone. One night I sat in the garden. I looked at the stars, and I thought, is this my life now, just waiting for Sunday phone calls? That night I cried again, but this time I also felt something else, a small feeling, a tiny feeling. It felt like anger. Not at Daniel, not at anyone, anger at myself. I thought, I am Margaret. I taught children for 35 years. I raised a good son. I have lived a full life. Why am I sitting here, waiting for someone to need me?
That small, angry feeling saved me. The next morning, I woke up early. I made breakfast. I sat at my kitchen table, and I wrote a list. I wrote, what do I love? I wrote, I love books. I love gardens. I love children laughing. I love making things with my hands. Then I wrote, what have I always wanted to do but never had time? I wrote, I always wanted to paint. Robert used to say, Margaret, you should paint. You see colours differently. I never listened. I was always too busy, too tired, always taking care of others. So that same morning, I walked to the town centre. I went into the art shop. A young woman was working there. Her name was Sophie. She had paint on her hands and a big smile. I said, I want to start painting, but I do not know how. Sophie said, that is the best way to start, not knowing. She helped me choose brushes. She helped me choose colours. She told me about a painting class every Tuesday morning. I signed up that same day. I was nervous on the first Tuesday. I walked into the class. 8 people were there, all different ages, all beginners like me. The teacher said, do not try to paint something perfect, just paint something true. I picked up my brush, I looked at the blank white paper, and for the first time in months I did not think about the silence. I just painted. That was 2 years ago. Now I paint every Tuesday and also on Thursday mornings and sometimes on rainy Sunday afternoons. Sophie and I became friends. She's 28 years old. She's young enough to be my granddaughter, but we talk for hours. I also started a small garden project at the local school. I go every Friday. I teach children how to grow vegetables. Their faces when the first tomato grows, that is a feeling I cannot describe. I'm busy now, not the same busy as before, not cooking and cleaning for others, busy with things that are mine, things that make me feel alive. Daniel called me last month. He asked, Mum, how are you? I said, I am wonderful, Daniel. I am actually wonderful. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, you sound different, Mum. You sound happy. I said, I am happy. I miss you every day, but I am happy. He said, I'm coming home in December, Mum, and I cried, but happy tears this time. I still have sad evenings. I still sometimes cook too much food. I still sometimes turn to tell Robert something funny. but now those moments feel like memories, and memories are a kind of company. I no longer feel invisible. I feel like myself again, maybe more myself than ever before. If you're listening to my story today, maybe you understand this feeling. Maybe someone you love is far away. Maybe your house is quiet. Maybe you feel forgotten. I want to tell you something. Please listen carefully. You are not finished. When the people we love leave, we think our story is over, but it is not over. Sometimes the people we love leave so that we can finally find ourselves. I spent 40 years taking care of Robert. I spent 34 years taking care of Daniel. I spent 35 years taking care of my students. I did not know who Margaret was without someone to take care of. Now I know. Margaret loves colours. Margaret loves children and gardens. Margaret loves a good cup of tea and a long conversation. I did not lose myself when Daniel left. I found myself. So if your house is quiet tonight, do not be afraid of that quiet. Sit with it, listen to it, and then ask yourself, what do I love? What have I always wanted to do? The answer is waiting for you. It has always been waiting.
Thank you, Margaret. That was a truly beautiful story. Margaret taught us something very important today. Loneliness is not the end of the story. It can be the beginning. Now, let us notice some vocabulary from today. The first word is opportunity. Margaret's son had an opportunity, a chance, to work in Canada. Can you use opportunity in a sentence? The second word is invisible. Margaret felt invisible, like nobody could see her. This is a powerful way to describe loneliness. The third word is struggle. Margaret struggled to find a reason to get up. To struggle means to try hard when something is very difficult. Now, I want you to repeat this sentence out loud. I did not lose myself. I found myself. Say it again. I did not lose myself. I found myself. Beautiful. Practice makes perfect. If this story touched your heart, please give us a like. It really helps. Subscribe to this channel for a new story every day. Turn on notifications so you never miss one. And please leave a comment below. Tell us, have you ever felt lonely? What helped you? We would love to read your story. Thank you for learning English with us today. Take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next story. Goodbye for now.